So this car came to me about 8 weeks ago as a roller. It had its engine and gearbox in, and we had to do all the reassembly. My brother has done a lot of this work, and I'm just finishing off some final touches and doing some quality assurance on the car, the build, before we send it back off to New South Wales. So just going through a few things on testing now, and we'll take it for a drive, check out the brakes, acceleration, clutch, all the rest of it. So what you see before you is the matching numbers, LJ GTR and Salamanca Red and Houndstooth interior. So it was a very sought after car, especially when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s. This is probably the most sought after colour combo back then, and it's come up an absolute treat. You know, we had all the parts to rebuild this car in pretty much record time. We got it all back together. Obviously the customer spent some money on re-zinking and some new parts. You know, things like just getting these door rubbers on, like, you know, we've pretty much got that dialed in now, so we know how to install them, and there's a few tricks to that, which we will do a video on down the track. So people that are struggling with their door rubbers and they don't shut properly will know how to not only install these, but also adjust the striker plates and get this door to shut properly. But so, you know, they pretty much shut like this. Unless you've got issues with the door that's been moved, you're not really going to know. But this car, the gap's pretty good. They look original. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish this one off, tidy it all up, get it parked up and send it off for the next one, because the next one behind me is that one there. That's the LJ Orchid Metallic XG1 that we're going to start doing some reassembly on. And I'm going to finish off this one just here, which is the Plum Dinger, the LC Plum Dinger. This was a mild restoration on it because it didn't need a huge amount of work. So if you like watching these videos, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. I'm also starting to build an LX SLR 5000. That is going to be a future video that you'll see, and there's some other models that we're going to be working on. So it's not just Toranas, even though we love building these and putting them back on the road. If you like watching those, click that subscribe button. See you soon. Okay, now doing this side, I've managed to get the other side done. That wasn't too bad, but this side here, that looks nothing like what it's meant to be. So there's going to be a lot of finessing to get this door lock back in, because that's not correct. And I have to use a file, and I've got to be careful not to chip the paint. That's looking more like it. All right, so I've got the reconditioned wiper motor. That one goes in. These are the other side of the stainless trims. Those stainless trims are all now on. Windscreen wiping, locking strips, all of that stuff I just went through before. Rear seat in, rear handles in, pinch weld. This goes on and on. So tomorrow's going to be wiper motor in, heater box in, and those strip rolls need to go in. I'll leave other stuff. Keep going. Stainless trims on, seats in, center console in, handbrake adjusted, the wiper rubbers for your hoses are in. There's a list of things that have been done. It's starting to look like a car again. You can put the seal panels on and trim the rest of the carpet next week, and put your hole for your, actually no, we've done that. The hole for the kick down switches in. A list of things have been done. Can't even keep track of it all, but anyway. Rubbers on there. Strips on that side. And not much left. Alrighty, so it was missing the top skin for this roebuck pattern. So luckily I got some spare roebuck. Interestingly, I've never installed this before, but it's pretty straightforward when you figure it out, because you've got to put your inner belt clips in and your outer belt clips in as well. They need to clip on, so you've actually got to start here and work your way over and pull it super tight, because you don't want to have a lip here when you're putting your inner belts in. Otherwise the inner belt's not going to fit onto the slight bit of metal that's floating around there just on the inside. So putting those on, and then we'll rebuild the doors, quarter windows in, door cards, and get onto that other side over there, that one, which is currently naked without the roebuck on the top. But the issue that we've got now is that when we put the windows on, the clamping that holds the base of the window with the rubbers has perished. So the windows, when you go to wind them down, just pull off. So I'm gonna have to pull everything out, get to those, replace the rubber, and then reinstall everything. Took me a little while to get that bonnet to sit flush. Those hinges need to be replaced, but there's not great gaps on here. All right, I've got to play around with this. That's setting up too high. These are your original bonnet hinges at the moment. I can play around and get it pretty good. That's really close there. These gaps here aren't too bad on this side, so I've got literally like a millimetre that I've got to move it. I need to go back a little bit further. That's later. Changing these over now. Your bracket's going to put your drip railers in. Assembling your stone tray and your air dam. Got to put your seat belts in. If I start it up, needs a little bit of fuel, but we're good. So I've got to do the taco and the fuel gauge. That shouldn't take too long. My brother and myself obviously went through these door rubbers. They're unbelievable. Just look at this. Wow. And the other side's just as good, if not better. What do you reckon? The other side's better or worse, Jason?
I reckon it's better.
Going back to, look at how this door shuts. Unreal.
Clearance.
And you know, all your bonnets all measured up, all your exhaust. All right, I managed to get the fuel gauge working. It's just a loose connection. There's not much fuel in it anyway, but at least I know it works now. And that connection there that I've just pulled out at the back there, that's one I need to test to make sure that you've got a RPM taco working properly. So let's do that. So I've got this connected up to the battery there. I should be getting negative here, which I am, and that light goes on. I'll move this away. You'll see that's the negative side. Light goes on, and that's meant to be feeding into the dash. But when I feed into the dash, there's nothing going on. And this wiring looks sus. I don't know what somebody's been into this, because it's meant to be a brown wire, remember? And there's only a black one going on to here from that one. Rewrapped properly this time, and all cleaned up, so we're all good. Tomorrow is driving day. Locked. So unlock it. Done. Back there. Back. Key out. Thank God that all works now. Steering wheel, correct one. Thicker, thinner later on after the LJ HQ range. HJ had a thinner one for ADR reasons, as I said before. And Taco, all your gauges work now. All right, so it's heating up now. It's idling fine. Still got a little bit of a vibration coming through from the exhaust. Have to figure that out. Steering needs to be adjusted when it gets the wheel alignment. Get that done tomorrow. Temperature gauge has stopped working. I'll have a look at that. Brake pedal pressure is too low, so we'll lift the steering wheel off, adjust it so that it's centered more. Check that out, and then have a look at the brakes. It looks beautiful, amazing. I can't believe how that came up. Anyway, interior's all done, as you know. Door rubber's shut properly, ignition sorted, steering wheel sorted, seats are all in, seat belts, interior, boots all done now, brace, jack handle, all done. Shuts well. I've got to get some fuel for this tomorrow, fuel it up before I take it. I built them like this. And that was a quick one. This isn't a full rotisserie one like that one there, or that one there. But you know, for something that's like an 8-9 week turnaround time, maybe a bit longer, I'm glad I did it. Cheers.